My name is Gazmend, and I am the CEO and co-founder of a software development company called INS. We are a company that exists since 2007. We basically produce web and mobile enterprise applications, which are mostly aimed towards GIS solutions, although about 10 years ago we began developing our own digital twin platform. One of our flagship products is called Nexus Twin, and that is, like I said, a digital twin platform which is 10 years in the making. And today's topic, what I'm going to talk about, is something which I deliberately picked to be a bit more lightweight, something rather basic. I believe that most of you guys already heard about this and are aware of what I'm talking about, but what I keep seeing in the field within the implementations that are actually actively deployed is that more often than not the basic concept of digital twins are missed, and I would like to address this once again in hope that this stops being a practice. So today I'm here to actually tell you a story, right? And the story is about digital twins, and it's organized in 2 chapters. It's only 2 chapters because I have 15 minutes. If I had more, I would go full Lord of the Rings on you, but I work with what I have. The chapters basically describe 2 of, I would say, opinions that my team and myself have when it comes to digital twins. The first one is called the House of Digital Twin, which revolves around a notion that a digital twin should not be considered as the roof of the house, but more as a master plan of the area where the house is built. And the second chapter is the digital twin conundrum. So what came first, the digital chicken or the digital egg? Here we're trying to pose an idea that digital building permits should be considered the byproduct of digital twins and not the other way around. They should be decoupled and they should be considered in their working order, something which we keep seeing vice versa all the time in the field. So what does this mean? Well, what we have seen in terms of what has been done in the field is that usually when an organization goes into the field and tries to deploy a digital twin, they get the use case, they get the request from the client, they say that the client gets what the client wants, and then they organize the data and they slap the digital twin on top of the data sets, which usually in some amount of time gets lost. Their work gets replaced by another digital twin, and this is like a never-ending cycle of loss of time, resources, and so on. Our opinion is that when you design a digital twin, you should first and foremost think about the future, about standardization, about the way where when you establish an environment, it will solve your use case, but also remain alive, even if you leave the operation or somebody else takes over from your hands. So maybe at this point you're saying like, what is this guy talking about? So just to give you like a more concrete example, we have a situation where the city of Gotham decided to actually resolve their issue with digital siloing. They had a digital silo of GIS, another digital silo of their IoT arrays, and a DMS-based digital silo. And mind you, this story is based on true events. So what they did, actually, they tried to resolve this siloing of data by implementing a digital twin, and they have succeeded actually. So they managed to extract the users from their silos, surrounded them around a digital twin, and everybody was happy. And this happiness lasted for like 2 years. When they tried to move towards some BIM-based analysis, especially in the field of building permits, and they realized that now they went to square one. So they began with 3 different digital silos, and when they introduced new platforms and new environments, they just resetted all of their work efforts. So to resolve this, the people from City of Gotham contacted this very, very good software development company. These really great guys. And this company designed a new architecture which actually proposes that the digital twin should be considered as a horizontal architecture with capabilities of bringing in their existing ecosystems and data sets, but also with future in mind of allowing them to onboard new solutions or new data sets and so on. So basically this reflects our original idea, that when you plan your digital twins, you should think about it as a master plan. Just like urban planners are planning their cities, they're resolving current urban planning problems, but they're at the same time thinking tomorrow. So urban planners are not planning for the cities and buildings of today, they're planning for the cities of tomorrow. And digital twins, in our opinion, should actually remain working in this direction. The designs should target tomorrow's changes while resolving today's use cases. So how does Nexus Twin, our digital twin platform, approach this? Well, apart from having an architecture which is horizontal, we first and foremost try to allow for import of well-known file formats, file types, such as, for example, OpenBIM file formats or GS formats like GeoJSONs, shapefiles, CityGML, and so on and so forth. So we try to support at least the well-known file formats and the ones that can be found in the area and in the field, so that we cover as much ground as we can. Then, an extremely important element is that we try to adhere to all existing, or basically the most important existing standards and classifications, such as, I know, following a unique class or omni class, or relying on OGC standards or IFC as a data schema. So this allows us to, at the same time, onboard the existing data sets and set some kind of a workflow which will not die out tomorrow, but will rely on the years and decades of work of scientists and engineers like yourself. Third one is that we rely on well-tested protocols. For example, when we decided to add our IoT modules and onboard live streams from sensors, a unanimous decision of our CTOs was that we should go first from MQTT. MQTT is, I may be older than I am, I don't know. But the thing is that it was like a clear choice of what we should onboard first. And we continued adding other things in our roadmap. And then for dissemination, to actually be able to send data from our solution towards active deployments, we just wrapped the whole platform in RESTful API calls, and if we talk about GS data, then we again follow OGC standards and we deliver the data through WFS and WMS services. And this helped us, as a private company, to deploy the same platform, the very same code stack, in the very same environment, in many different ways, in many different use cases. For example, currently we have an implementation with a national utility company for transport of water and electricity in the Emirates. Then we have a different implementation with a consultancy company that is actually managing railway renovation and construction projects, but their projects are scattered physically, geographically, and so on. A lot of people are involved, and they use our platform as central CD for their weekly meetings, for tracking the construction process, for extracting data from their reports and so on. Or, one of our best performances yet, we have several digital building permit implementations. And basically this leads us to chapter 2, where we consider digital building permits a byproduct of well-established digital twins. Our opinion, and which actually paid off for us, is that if your digital twins are following a proper set of standards, if the architecture is ready to receive different data sets and different, let's say, input points coming from the client, then the process of digital building permit is just applying the workflows, existing workflows of the clients, and even more so, you're allowed to improve them, because you can focus on that instead of just bringing in the data or finding whatever they have inside of their mechanisms. So to revert to the city of Gotham problem, at some point, once this digital twin was established, this billionaire called Bruce Wayne came to the city, and he asked for a building permit for a cave. You know, who knows why would he need a cave, right? But the city said, okay, Mr. Wayne, you're one of our largest investors. So yes, send us your BIM model of the case, send us some CAD files, and we're going to run them through our solution. We're going to get the building permit, and you can move on. Now, coming back again to the real life, we did the same thing for a different set of billionaires, right? But these are the guys in Dubai that actually build these amazing buildings and sky rises. So our approach allowed us to just drop in the middle of their very well developed ecosystem. So we combined their BIM models, their existing BIM models, the newly deployed BIM models, as well as over 30 GIS services that actually reflect their critical infrastructure, like utilities or master plans and so on, and automate their workflows of issuing digital building permits. What we know is a fact from there was a webinar this January, as they released our solution in production 1st of January 2024. This January we heard that during 2024 they released over 100 building permits in a completely automated way, and that they managed to do this in less than 8 days per permit. So these are incredible KPIs. We're very happy that they found our solution to be so useful, which actually helped us to win another project. This February we won a contract, and we are 4 months deep in implementation of the full-blown automated code compliance checking engine and digital building permit process for another country in the Middle East. So it is a state-level deployment. I cannot still divulge which country it is because they want to announce it by themselves probably during this month. But I hope, Eduardo, that maybe next year I may tell you more about this. However, again, the same approach allowed us to do more this time. So apart from bringing in their BIM data, we are bringing many other formats in the mix, as well as expanding the functionalities. So apart from checking the architectural BIM models, this time we are going to check also the utility connectivity, help them check what is the requirement of their utility companies, basically capacities of their utility companies versus the people asking for building permits. And we are going to also wrap this up in kind of an engineering marketplace, where a direct communication between the governmental bodies and the private sector would happen for some kind of pre-approvals, checks, and so on. So a different expansion on the situation, but still utilizing the same digital twin platform, which we just established following our standards and basically our way of doing things. And in the past 4 months, we have been onboarding their various governmental bodies, the Ministry of Housing, Ministry of Real Estate, Urban Planning, and so on. So we began working with each and every one of their governmental bodies. So it's like 3 months of a 5-month business analysis. And right now, they're at a level where they're quite harmonized and synchronized. Again, what helped us is because we already had support for so many of their data sets, and they just clicked into it. So once again, we consider that digital building permit softwares, although they can be deployed and developed by a lone software company and so on, we think that it should be a byproduct of a digital twin. So to wrap this up, the epilogue of the story is that we consider that the whole business begins with establishing mechanisms for existing ontologies, services, file formats, and so on. And all of these file formats that you see here and more are currently supported by our digital twin platform. Then you should establish your digital twin platform basically as horizontal architectures where you bring in all of these things. And once you have this, and you can disseminate this data in a meaningful way towards whatever use case of the spectrum, just like you saw before. We have so many implementations that are targeting so many different types of players that sometimes even for us it's strange that we are doing this with just one simple software platform. And that's about it. Here you can see my credentials. So first QR code is my LinkedIn profile. Second one is the company's webpage. Yeah, or you can just flash the Nexus Twin logo on the cloudy sky of your cities, If I'm not too busy, I will come. So that's it. Thank you very much.